Sir, this is official HOA business. Hazardous materials have been reported on this property. You are required to comply.
You broke into my private garage. That is a felony.
We are authorized. Step aside.
Authorized by who? Your playgroup president.
The trouble did not start in the garage. It started with Miriam Cole deciding my existence was a problem. Comment below which country you are watching from. I am an Army commander by trade. Discipline, preparation, and redundancy are baked into me. From the day I moved in, Miriam had been sending increasingly aggressive letters. Adjust exterior storage. Community standards apply to all residents. Then the fines started. A parking citation with no prior notice. A storage violation for my closed garage. A threat about unapproved items visible from the street. Each one carried the same message underneath. We will make things uncomfortable. I reported the harassment, filed complaints, photographed every letter, and logged every date. Then one morning I found my windshield destroyed, my tires slashed, and a note. Next time we take more. I documented everything, uploaded porch cam footage, and handed it to the sheriff. I tightened security. Upgraded cameras with cloud backup. Added motion lights. Posted signs. I told my daughter to call the sheriff if anyone came claiming to be board enforcement. I went to the HOA meeting and laid out the police report, the photos, and the timestamps. Miriam smiled like a woman who had never lost. "We are concerned about community safety," she said. "You are making enemies." I called Marcus, an old friend from a unit I commanded who knew how to move quietly. We walked the property together, moved camera angles, tested blind spots, and added a hidden feed at the garage door and a back camera covering the alley. We joked about living in a spy movie because the alternative was letting the anxiety win. I was in the kitchen with Marcus when a dull thunk echoed from the garage. I looked at the back door camera. For men, reflective vests. Shadows at the lip of my garage. I went to the small safe and pulled 2 service pistols. Checked them with practiced motions. One tucked at the small of my back. Marcus caught my eye and nodded once. No words. We headed down. The sound of a pry bar tearing into steel. Then voices. Check the racks. Commander keeps unregistered weapons in here. HOA wants them confiscated. For men in reflective vests, stenciled HOA in block letters. Cheap badges on lanyards. Crowbars and bolt cutters gripped with the confidence of experience. I stepped into the doorway. "Afternoon, gentlemen." All 4 froze. The tallest one jabbed his clipboard at me and said this was official HOA business, and that I was required to comply with a hazardous materials complaint. I told him he had broken into my private garage, and that was a felony. He said they were authorized. Marcus told him authorized by who, and called them clowns with no jurisdiction. I stepped closer. I told them they were going to explain exactly why they thought this was a good idea while standing completely still, and that if any of them twitched toward me, I would consider it self-defense. The jittery one lunged with cheap cuffs like he was going to make a citizen's arrest. Training took over. I sidestepped, caught his wrist twisted, and put him face first on the concrete. Marcus grabbed another by the vest and slammed him into the tool bench. The 2 still standing did not look so sure of themselves. Then they both lunged. Marcus and I split instinctively. I drove a forearm into one attacker's jaw and swept his leg. Marcus took the other with a shoulder throw and a sharp elbow to the ribs. All 4 hit the floor. I pressed the barrel of my pistol against the concrete beside the one I dropped, and the metallic clink made his eyes go wide. I told them impersonating law enforcement was a federal crime. Breaking and entering a state felony. Add attempted assault, and they were all looking at a long ride downtown. The leader stammered that they were just following orders, and that Miriam said I was a threat, not just fines and harassment and notes left on my car. She had sent a goon squad to seize my property from my own garage. By the time deputies arrived, all 4 men were on the ground cuffed and moaning. My cameras had recorded everything from the moment they pried the door. Deputies charged them with impersonating officers, attempted burglary, and conspiracy to commit theft. Armed criminal trespass added on top. Under questioning, the first one broke. "Yeah, we slashed his tires," he said. Miriam told us to. Another confirmed the windshield. When investigators pulled their phones, every text traced straight back to Miriam Cole. She had planned every step. Neighbors came forward. Miriam had fined families for garden gnomes, threatened liens, and ordered fences torn down. My case was the most aggressive, but not the only one. I filed a civil lawsuit for property damage, harassment, and punitive damages. The HOA insurer settled for $100,000 plus full reimbursement of my legal costs. Miriam personally paid $15,000 after the judge found she had abused her authority. The four imposters each pled guilty to trespass, impersonation, vandalism, and attempted theft, probation fines, and permanent criminal records. Miriam pled guilty to harassment and conspiracy, lost her board position, was barred from HOA involvement in the county, and fined $10,000. Neighbors who once looked away stopped to shake my hand. The HOA was restructured with real oversight. Miriam Cole thought she could send fake badges and bolt cutters into my life and take what she wanted. She did not know what kind of man she had chosen to go after. Drop a like if this hit different, and tell me in the comments whether you think the civil settlement was enough or whether Miriam deserved more.